With the Malibu back in its resting spot, there in the bush, I went to town and picked up the EV that I'd be using for the next 5 days. The EV we got to work with is this new 2023 Tesla Model 3 standard range car. It's a rear-wheel drive unit. Let's go check it out. Fancy. Decided to go with a Tesla unit here because, well, they're known to be some of the best EVs out there. The cars with the best range, the best charging network, some of the best tech, so figured I made a pretty solid choice. Just like last time, I was keeping track of things like mileage, battery, downtime, and of course, cost as well. After recording the mileage and battery, went to do a quick errand along the way, found this really cool looking 1990 Ford in the parking lot. I mean, just look at it, beauty. Anyways, afterwards, ran into some traffic here, unfortunately, and even more traffic. Moving forward, we ran into even more traffic, unfortunately. Apparently, there's some sort of train delay. Not too sure. The only thing I was sure of was there was a whole lot of traffic. Okay, made it back here. Picked up the car, had like 2 stops along the way. They were all en route. As you can see, when we started out, we had 57 to 53. Now we have, 57 to 69. So I'll jot that down. And as you can see here, we traveled literally about, 16 clicks, which is exactly 10 miles. 10 miles. And now we're down to 83% battery charge. So, as you can see, temperature is minus 18. That's about 0 Fahrenheit. So she chewed through quite a bit of battery. So we're just gonna get that down here. That total was 16 clicks, 10 miles. And for battery, we're now at 82. So we chewed through quite a bit of battery for 10 miles. Anyways, we'll see how she goes tomorrow. Morning. Just gonna get her quickly fired up here. I guess boot up. And oh, that is okay. Whatever. We'll just give her one of these. Just kidding. I know it's not my car. Let's try the fronts. That is not ideal, but whatever. Seemed to open, so I'm okay with that. As you can see, temperature's minus 20 Celsius up there. And the battery's down to 75%. Now, if memory serves me right, when I shut this thing down yesterday, wrote it down, it was 82%. So we lost a few percentage just sitting here. Whatever. So what I'm gonna do, just kind of get some heat going here, brush her down, and head out. We just got 2 sites to go to, so let's get going. Mileage here. Battery there. Okay, I'm just gonna write down her battery, which started off at 74 here. Mileage is 57,269. With the car warmed up and brushed off, although technically we don't say the car is warmed up now, we say the car's pre-conditioned. So with the car pre-conditioned and brushed off, wrote down the mileage, the battery, and made her way to the first stop. Made to the first site. We'll see you in a couple hours here. I don't know if you noticed this, but the windows are kind of frosting up here. They're frosting up all over the car. I've noticed that if I want it warm, that battery seems to drop really fast. So I'm starting to have to decide, do I want to travel? Do I want heat? So dial the heat back a little bit. Windows aren't really keeping clear here, but I guess it's part of the trade-off, right? So anyways, car made it. It was pretty decent. No complaints. See you in a couple hours. All right, made it back. Now off to the next site. We'll check the battery and stuff later. A bit of a rush. I know I've only driven this car about 15, 20 miles so far, but one of the biggest surprises yesterday when I first picked it up was what happened when I let go of the accelerator. When I let go of the accelerator, it kind of felt like there was a rear brake that was dragging. Now, may not seem like a huge deal, but I don't know if you've seen the roads. They are, well, they're snow covered. It's all hard packed snow and ice, and in these temperatures, that ice is pretty, well, it gets pretty slick. So every time I would back off the accelerator to let it coast, the thing would just swerve all over the place. So I was thinking, oh man, I'm in for a wild ride here. But managed to go online. I checked it out last night. Apparently it was the regen thing. So I dialed that way down, and it's a whole lot better. It actually coasts like a regular car now. So that it's a whole lot nicer. Anyways, just making our way to the next stop here, and that's her. Chatting a bit, or not, whatever. Made it to site 2 for the day. Just gonna quickly do a little energy check here. Okay, so when we left this morning out of the parking stall there, we had 269 clicks. Now we're at 302. So basically, I guess 30 clicks or 20 miles. When we left this morning, we had 74% battery life, and now we are at 53. So 20 miles, we chewed through 20% of our battery here. And we're only half done our day. Perfect. Hey, look what I found in the parking lot today. Another 83 Malibu. It's like the one I drove last week. Man, betcha he has heat and everything. Jealous. Made it. Okay, we'll head back. And that's it. Pretty much good for today. We'll check everything else, battery, mileage, when we get back there. The drive back was decent, and by decent I mean pretty slow. For some reason, ran into some more traffic, which was pretty unusual. This car always finds traffic. I don't know why. It's pretty unfortunate. Anyways, not a huge deal. We made it back eventually. Made it. Just gonna do up our daily log here. So we started the day with 57,269 for clicks. We ended the day with 57,318. So I'll just jot that down. We got 57,318. So that gives us what? We got 269. That gives us about what? 49,918. Yep, 49 clicks. About 30 miles. And we started the day with 74%. And we ended it with 48%. Jot that down, 48%. Okay, so we basically chewed through about 26% battery for 30 miles. I don't know if you remember, but take a look here. Yesterday, when I rolled in here in a parking spot, I walked out the door, we had 82% power, right? And in the morning, when I walked in, then the following morning, that's today, we had 74%. So we bled energy overnight due to the fact that we're below half battery pack here. And we're bleeding overnight. And this is only the first day. And tomorrow I got a trip to the other end of the city I'm not too familiar with. I think what I'm going to do is go find a charger tonight. I'm just going to take 5 here, charge up my poor batteries, you know, my cameras, whatever here, and grab a bite to eat. Then let's go find a charger. The plan here is to go find a Tesla charger. There's one right at the Forks. It's about 1.5 miles from my place. And I know it's a paid charger, so we're going to have to pay and see what it's like. Or at least the parking lot's paid. Whatever. We'll record the downtime and the cost and all that stuff. When driving down to the charging station, I didn't expect to run into another problem. Perfect. Another car in the only Tesla stall. Let's look at that map again. After searching around a bit, I came across another open charger, so I thought, hey, might as well give it a shot. Why are you even... Oh, oh. Okay. You want to do something, no? Maybe. No? Oh, fine. Let's try it again. Oh. Okay. Come on. You can do it. There we go. No? It's a no-go? Oh. Nope. Okay, fair enough. It's, that's a no. Well, that was good news. The rental car company had this adapter, and I worked on this station too. So, actually getting her charged up here, which is pretty awesome. So, let's take a look how long we have to wait. And according to our screen, we have 7 hours. Okay, I'll do a game plan here. So game plan here, buy a couple hours of parking, should be about $8. We'll record that as a cost, and then walk the 1.5 miles back home. Here I am walking 3 miles, right? 1.5 miles there, 1.5 miles back. In sub-zero temperatures, because I chose to drive an EV. Yay. Almost back. Yay. Oh, flashing lights. Oh, Winnipeg staple. Made it back. It's a long night. Some would even say inconvenient. Thing always struggles. What do we got? 69, almost 70%. Well, better than it was. I'm starting to get the feeling that the EV life here is all about waiting. It's been a long day, so let's just record our downtime and all that stuff and mileage. So we now have, so I'm just gonna put, we charged, and now we're at what? 67. So 67%. Mileage is now, when we were starting off with 324, yep. So it's 57, 324. And that's what, those are numbers will carry over for tomorrow. Downtime, we got, yep. Downtime, we got 3 hours. Let's put 5 minutes. Costs $8. And yeah, good enough. Daily driving to Tesla. Before even scraping this thing down, just wanted to show you here. When we rolled in here last night after we charged, right? It was 67%. And as soon as they get in, don't touch anything yet, we're down to 62. So it seems like we're bleeding out about 5% of battery pack overnight. Anyways, so let's show you that. We got stuff to do. Let's go. We start the day off with battery at 60, what is that? 61%. 61. Took a good percentage to warm up. And we'll do our odometer here. 57, 324. We start the day off with 57, 324. When I first started driving that old Malibu, I was kind of worried. I was worried about it starting. I was worried about it making it to the trips or even lasting the whole 5 days. But as the time went on and the miles went on, I became pretty confident in that machine. I kind of feel like this car is doing the exact opposite. When I first got it, super confident in it. I was thinking, awesome, new car, we're gonna have good heat,
It's gonna get me wherever I need to go. It's gonna start easy. Well, the starting's easy. Yep, that's for sure. But on the back of my mind, I'm not really confident in where I can go with it yet. I've driven this thing a day. It chewed through about half a battery pack. I had to charge it for 3 hours plus yesterday. I had to walk in the cold through downtown Winnipeg. It's definitely was not very convenient for a new car. But again, everything, it is what it is, so we'll keep tabs here and see what we got to work with. Made it. Okay, see you in a few. Just gonna give it a quick defrost here before we step out. The awesome part about this defroster is doesn't use any battery. All right, so done for today. I think what we're gonna do now is charge it up and kind of repeat of yesterday. Got to go to town tomorrow, so I want to make sure we get enough battery in there as we can. Don't feel like doing a Tesla supercharger because it's literally on the other end of town for me, and don't feel like driving there in traffic. We know that the charger we used last night worked. Do it again and try to get as much juice as we can. Pulled into the EV charging station, which we used last night, and it's full. So I'm debating whether I should wait it out here or book it across town and use one of those superchargers. So just kind of calculating here based on what I charged yesterday and where I'm at now, and at 52 cents a kilowatt hour, it's going to cost about 30, no, whatever. It's going to be an expensive charge. So plus the time we get back here, it's going to be like 10% gone anyways. So yay, stuff to kind of always think about. So wonder if there's any other chargers around town. We'll find out. All right, we have EV charging station temporarily unavailable. Okay. So check the map, and apparently there is another charger around here somewhere. So basically, I'm just driving around looking for another charger close by. So yeah, I guess it's all part of the experience. And I think that's where it's supposed to be, but there's a bunch of construction all around it, so looks like we may have to make a trip across town. I'm starting to miss my Malibu. I could have clear windows. Definitely wouldn't be looking for a charger now. Circled around, no charger. Came back here again, the same place I was last night, just to double check. Maybe it cleared out. Nope, still full up. So, looks like we are heading to the other side of town. And hopefully we can charge in time and still have enough juice once we get back here to make my trip tomorrow out of town. I'll need about 50 miles, I think. Last time I drove the Malibu on that trip, we did, I don't know, 50 miles, 60 max. So I'm hoping we can charge enough to make that 60-mile trip tomorrow. Just rolled into the supercharger station. Just going to do our mileage before we charge. And just to let you folks know, I've got everything written down correct here. So mileage here before charging was 57,370. Our battery at 29%. And this morning when we left the stall, 61%. And we left at 57,324. So I guess we did cover a couple clicks today. Fair enough. Now let's go charge. Don't know if you noticed this, but every single parking stall or charging stall filled up. And we got waiters. There's a familiar sight. No heat, frosted windows. Gotta love the experience. We just got her plugged in here,
And it says that it's going to take 1 hour and 40 to charge, which is honestly a lot better than I thought. So we will charge it up and see what we got to work with. And that's that. We're back up to full charge, 100%. And it costs $24.52. So we're fully charged. We'll just jot all that stuff down. We're back up, just putting here. 100 green, the same mileage, 57, 370. Again, we'll write everything down when we get back. Oh, that cost. What was it again? Like 25 bucks? 24, 52. I'll double check it. I think that's about right. Okay, we're out of here. We're back in our parking stall. We now have 57,378. So that's our true end mileage, 57,378. So we drove 8 clicks, which is about 5 miles since we left. And this time around, no traffic. I think that battery was all heated up nice. Look at that. We only chewed through 3% of battery. So that was pretty awesome. We shut her down tonight at 97. And I did record the downtime, so 2 hours and 45 minutes, including driving there, charging, driving back. I didn't include the, 15, 20 minutes of driving around looking for a charger, downtown here. That's pretty much it. We've using a Tesla here and heading out of town today. So we're starting off 95% and the mileage is 57,378. Same as we left off yesterday. Now, one thing that's kind of cool I noticed is we're down to 95% battery. When I rolled into this spot last night, we were at 97. So I turned that Sentry or Synergy or whatever mode off, and we only lost 2% instead of the 5-6% we were losing every night. I have no idea if that's what was killing the battery, but the temperature also has warmed up a little bit too. I don't know if you noticed, but the temperature has been gradually warming every day. We're up to minus 13 this morning, which is pretty much balmy for Winnipeg this time of year. So hopefully it's going to help out with our range today. And whatever, let's go. And made it. That's sir. Made it. Plan for today is to head back into town. I am gonna go plug the car in the charger there, the one close to me, walk back, let it charge up a couple hours. I'm assuming by the time we roll into town, we're going to use another 15% or so. So I don't want to have it that low for the morning. Although the battery does seem to be holding out a bit longer. I think it's because of the weather. It's only about minus 10 out right now, which is about 15 Fahrenheit. So it's amazing that 10 degrees of difference. Wow, I think I'm getting a bit more range of this battery. Nowhere near as advertised, but it's definitely getting better. Anyways, that's enough talking. Okay, we made it back to the charge station here by the place. So we started off the day with 95%, and we basically made it out of town back here, which was, and then we're down to 74%. I just plugged it into the charger, so it went up 1, or it's at 75 now. So, long story short, we made it, okay, so we started off today with 57,378. Right now, it's 57,443. We can see over there. So, basically, we drove 65 clicks today, which is about 40 miles, no, 40, probably more than 40, whatever, 45 miles-ish, let's say, on 21% of our battery, right? Because we started off with 95, and we ended up with 74. So 42 miles on 21% of our battery. Getting better. This warm weather is really helping out. As you can see here, we're now -9. The weather's getting a little bit nicer, so definitely helping out with the battery life.
So basically I'm tracking her downtime here and we're going to let her charge up. I don't know. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I'm pretty tired and I'd like to kind of get some work done, but so I'm probably just gonna let this thing charge for about an hour. Okay, we'll see you in an hour, I guess. And more waiting. Don't really feel like walking back, so hang out here and well, it's waiting. Just let it charge for about an hour and a bit there. We picked up about 10-11%, which is pretty awesome, I'd say. We're done for tonight. Just wrote down the mileage now since we charged it up. That's where we're gonna end the night. And yeah, making sure that synergy mode or whatever is off and seems to be helping with the discharge. So anyways, that's that. Day 4. Pretty much the same routine here. I basically just start off by checking the battery and the mileage. Show you folks there. Yup, it's 80%. And yup, it's 57,445. Then like usual, let's head to the first stop here. Just rolling into work. So you notice that yes, somebody's riding a bicycle to work in winter. Shut her down. Get back in the car. And to make the day complete, head on over to the nearest charging station. And of course, wait in traffic. Hey, look at that 94 Chev. Wonder if this Tesla will be around in 30 years. Battery's now down to 65 clicks. Mileage now, at the end of today, or right to the charging station here, is 57,462. And from this morning, that means that we've driven 17 clicks. That's about 11 miles, I'd say. And we started the day off with 80%, as you remember. Now we're down to 65. So basically driving 10 miles in a city dropped us 15% for battery. Battery's at 65. Our mileage there is 57,462. And yeah, that's pretty much it. We're going to charge her up and I guess I'm just going to hang out. After driving this EV for 4 days, I've come to realize a huge part of the EV life is waiting. And, well, more waiting. That's pretty much it.
Quick summary of the Tesla here. In the past 5 days, we drove it 120 miles. Downtime for charging is 5 hours and 50 minutes. That cost us $30.52. Total cost per mile was about 32 cents per mile.
All right, we've got our summaries here. So, as you can see, for the 5 days, the Tesla and the Malibu, they're driven pretty much the same mileage. I tried to keep the same routes and distance and stuff like that. If anything, the Malibu probably got the worst weather as we drove it through that freezing rain, the blizzard, and it had the coldest weather as well. That kind of got pushed through. And total downtime for the Malibu was 25 minutes and 43 seconds. That was because of the fact that it's been off the road for a while. The carb is dry, could use a carb kit, could use a set of plugs, cap and rotors, that kind of thing. Honestly, a little tune-up would have been a totally different car. But all things considered, that's what we managed. And to run this thing costs $39.87, which works out to about 31 cents per mile, given average miles per gallon of 13.5 miles per gallon there. So, all things considered, this 45-year-old Malibu that's been kind of neglected, just dragged out of the bush or dragged out of the field, whatever, and put on a road, runs you the same operating cost per mile as a newer EV. Keep in mind that with this EV, we're not charging at home. This was, charged in parking lots, charging stations, where you do pay a premium. But if you didn't own a house with a garage, with a charger that wasn't heated, this is what you'd be doing. And due to this fact, the downtime was 5 hours and 50 minutes. So to drive this thing 120 miles, we wound up having to charge this thing for almost 6 hours. So that's pretty much it. It is what it is. Warming a car, keeping it running when it's cold is not really convenient either. But again, neither is drive around looking for a charger. It's kind of like a choose your own adventure of inconvenience. What would you prefer? Well, that's up to you.